Welcome to the final Harley Davidson makeover video. In today's video, we're going to apply the emblems on the fuel tank and the emblems on the front brake calipers. Install the bags and connect the bag lights.
Basically what I'm doing here, according to the directions for these shocks, you loosen the lock ring and back off on the ring for the spring tension till there's play in the spring. Then you're going to go ahead and adjust this for 2 up or single rider. I adjusted the spring length for single rider and I went to 7 3/8 on the spring length. So you're going to turn the adjuster, the spring adjuster nut, up till you get it to 7 3/8. And then once that's there, you go ahead and lock the lock nut. All right, so again, this one, take it all the way down, slacken the spring, bring it back up. I went with 7 3/8 inches on the spring length, tighten everything back up. To do this, the wheel has to be off the ground, so these have to be totally stretched out. I'm thinking being a 13-inch shock, it should give me a better ride than the air shocks I had on this thing. We'll see when I take it down the road. If it's too soft or too stiff, I can always come back and adjust this, either loosen it or tighten it up. But I'll know better when I get out on the road, and we'll see how it goes.
Well, completely finished the bike. The process took 2 days because we glued the emblems on the gas tank, and I wanted to make sure they were good and dry before we took that tape off. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to just quickly go over the bike and just talk a little bit about what we did to the bike. Taillight, LED, aftermarket light. Turn signals, I left them halogen, but I did replace the reflectors and I put the trim rings on. The rear fender tip light, these come as one piece. The reflector, LEDs, everything's part of the reflector. You pretty much plug it into where the bulb goes, and now you got LEDs across there. All right, these bag lights that I installed, they are not for this bike. These are made for like a 2014 Harley Davidson. I picked these up for 20 bucks, and I figured, hey, for 20 bucks, I can get these to work. So what I had to do is I had to cut the lip that goes over the bag because they wouldn't fit with that lip. So I actually cut it, and I think it doesn't look bad at all. This was a new badge plate I ordered from Harley Davidson to replace the old one. These brake light reflectors, I replaced these because the old ones were cracked or starting to crack really bad. I wanted to keep these red, but I wanted a darker look. So what I did was when I painted this black, I painted the inside of the light housing black also. Might be a little dark, but I don't know, I think it looks kind of cool. I did replace the reflectors because again, being that the bike was so old, the old ones were cracked. And some of the mounting areas where you screw into, those were broken. Behind the bag is the shocks. Replaced those with Drag Specialty premium shocks, 13-inch. On the bag, I replaced the handle covers. These are aftermarket, nothing special. All the chrome pieces that were blacked out ended up being done professionally. So everything is powder coated by Powder Pro. I give those guys a lot of props. They did a great job. I started thinking early on, I was gonna paint everything, and then I'm like, if I want this to be durable and to last a long time and look good, you know, I'm putting all this work into this, I should get it powder coated. So the wife and I, we discussed it, and with her blessing, I was able to just take all these pieces and get them powder coated. Wasn't cheap, but well worth the money. Exhaust pipe heat shields. Quite a few of them needed to be repaired. And then I sanded this all down, and using some high heat paint, I painted the heat shields. And then I actually sanded the paint, scuffed it up, just to get it to match the rear mufflers. Passenger footrest cover, these were actually painted by me. I put a 2K clear coat over the paint, and it should last, it should be durable. How long, I don't know, but I think it'll last a long time, and it looks good. These highway pegs, these are brand new. I went to the dealership for these. Simple fact, because they are made out of steel. Anything you buy that looks like this on Amazon, eBay, or on the web in general is cast iron. And what happens is, when you tighten these down here, they snap. One side or the other side snaps because it's cast iron. How do I know? Because I bought a couple of cheap ones online, and in the end, I should have just bought these. Even though they're pricey, you get what you pay for when it comes to these pieces here. The peg, I went aftermarket, and I got that online. Brake rotors in the front, I had to replace both of these because the other rotors were warped and they were hitting the pads as you went down the road. These are not the most expensive out there. If you guys ever bought parts for a bike, you know brake rotors can run you big money. These were probably the cheapest I could find. But overall, I think they look good on the bike. Front forks were upgraded with progressive mono tubes and completely rebuilt. The LED spotlights and headlight, a couple of years ago, that was all done. Very happy I did the upgrade on that. Much more light at night compared to a halogen bulb. Front fender, received a new fender tip light. Same thing as the rear, except this one is a yellow or orange color. New hand grips. These are Avon. I think they're memory foam grips. They fit the bike well, and they fit my hands well too. I went ahead and replaced the old mirrors with these gloss black ones. Again, aftermarket. If you've been following, you know I removed the CB, aftermarket cover where the CB wiring went. Upgraded the cover for the ignition. It pretty much just cover goes on. It's aftermarket, matches, I think, everything else. All the gauges, They used to be chrome rings, now they're all black, gloss black. I spray painted those, then glued them back onto the gauges. Same thing with the radio, gloss black. The front JBL 6.5-inch speakers was, I think it was worth the money. They sound really good. They're loud and they're clear. They will get to a point where if you boost the radio volume all the way up, they're not as clear anymore. But at the level I listen to, very happy with the front speaker upgrade. The rear speakers are Boss speakers, B-O-S-S. They're cheap. I paid 36 bucks for this set, and it does what I want it to do. I could clearly hear the music, but make no mistake about it, these are not expensive speakers. I guess basically what I'm saying is don't expect these to sound like a $400 Bose speaker. You know what I mean? One last thing is the heel toe shifter. I bought an aftermarket heel toe shifter. The shifters would not fit on the rod. It wouldn't tighten up and stay tight in the rod. These were the pegs that came with the shifters that I ordered. So I just used those on the factory stock heel toe shifter. But I had to order special bolts or longer bolts to fit these pegs onto the shifter. The one thing that I am really impressed with is this section here that was broken off. I mean, that came out fantastic. For somebody who had no experience with fiberglass ever, it was my first time. I mean, I can't ask for anything better than that. You can't even tell that was repaired. That is amazing. It's one of the things they did really good. So, all the chrome was powder coated gloss black, and the color of the bike is called Money Green Pearl. That's really all I got to say. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull the bike outside. I'm going to take some pictures and a little bit of video so I can show you what the bike looks like in the sunlight.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're with my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some honestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable.
Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant, modern kingdom for the taking.
I want to thank everybody who's been on this journey with me, who's liked, subscribed, shared our videos. Thank you. Thank you for helping me get the word out. Thank you for helping me grow the channel. I mean, we're still a small channel, but I appreciate each and every one of you. I also am very grateful to all the folks who have not only subscribed to this channel, but have decided to join the channel and support the channel on a monthly basis. I truly appreciate those folks. I just hope I don't disappoint. I was debating on whether or not I was going to share what this build cost me, but I decided against it. I will say this. I went over budget by quite a bit. Use your imagination. Anything from a motorcycle, whether it's a Harley Davidson or anything else, is very expensive, especially nowadays. So with that said, I'm going to sign off. I ask you to leave comments below. Let me know what you think about the bike or even the garage. My friends, ride safe, stay blessed, and hallelujah, the bike is done. Bye-bye.